Hi guys, how are you this evening? So today we are going to be roasting beets. Beets are a root vegetable. They grow in the ground like carrots do, and they are packed full of great nutrients. They are high in potassium and iron and fiber, all of which is good for you, and they are low calorie as well. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 400. You do the same, pop your oven up to 400. Make sure you have the middle rack there ready to go so that you can put them on that when the oven is ready and the beets are ready. So with your oven at 400, what I want you to do is get out some aluminum foil. When you have the beets whole, you need to wash them really, really well. You need to get all that dirt off them. Again, they're growing in the ground, especially if you don't know what ground they grew in. Luckily, the beets I'm using were growing right here in my garden. I know I grew them organically, and I know that there weren't any pesticides and stuff put onto them. So, you know, that part's good, but they're still in the ground, and there's a lot of stuff in the ground, both good stuff and bad stuff you don't want to be eating. So, wash your beets very well, and then you can actually take the aluminum foil and wrap them whole. I had some time yesterday and went ahead and washed them. They were still really dirty from having been outside, and so I washed them, peeled them, cut them all up. We were using some, but now I have the whole rest of them left, and let's show you the cut beets. So these beets here are ready to have the next step done. Now, I take the raw beets, again, they're already cut. I'm gonna put them in this aluminum foil, and then I'm going to just loosely wrap it. I'm not putting any olive oil, I'm not putting anything like that. You could, I'm sure some recipes call for it, but because it doesn't need it, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that out. I'm just gonna loosely wrap the beets in the foil. And let's see if my piece of foil is big enough or if I need to get some more to wrap it. I'm going to start right here. Wrap. Beets all the way up. I got a pretty good seal, but not great because I want them to have that moisture retained in there. I am going to grab another little piece and seal off that spot where I had the hole. Okay, now I have this still might leak potentially if it gets a little tear or something. Beet juice can stain. So when you are handling the beets, especially when I was cutting them last night, I don't know if you could tell, my hands actually turned a little bit red from the juices of the beets, so it can stain with your skin, your clothes, stuff like that. So just be aware of that when you're handling the beets. And in case any of those juices come out when I'm cooking them, I'm going to just take a tray, a little glass dish, and I'm going to put the whole set of them right there into the dish. So these are my beets wrapped in aluminum foil into the dish, just so that in case anything leaks out, it isn't getting all over the oven. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it into my oven once it gets to 400. Again, we were preheating. I didn't give it long enough, so you do need to give your oven some time to preheat. And then you are going to take your beets and put them into the oven. Now again, if you didn't cut them like I had, and that isn't really the way that I would do them, what I would usually do is take the beet whole, and I would take aluminum foil. After washing the beet well, I would wrap the individual beet in the aluminum foil, and then those would go in the glass dish. So I would have whole individually wrapped beets in the dish. Once they come out after cooking, and you're going to want to go until the beets are tender. When you put the fork in, you want it to be able to go in and not have a lot of resistance, and you don't want the beet to just be total mush. So I would say start checking them at about a half hour. It's probably going to take them about an hour. If the beets were put in whole without having been peeled or skinned, after they come out of the oven, you can let them sit for a bit. I'd let them sit about 15 minutes. You don't want to get burned. But after that, then you can actually go and the skin will almost like peel right off of them, and then you can just strip them of their skin and slice them or chop them however you would want. I had kind of cubed mine. I'd left them in bigger pieces because I was going to be putting them in the oven like this. So we're going to roast those beets in the oven again until they're fork tender, about an hour, but check before then. And when they come out, you will have something that you can go ahead and, once it's cool, of course, eat. You can keep that in the refrigerator for about a week. And, you know, of course, in a sealed container and stuff for about a week in the refrigerator. You can put it in the freezer, keep it for a couple months, or you can go ahead and can, pickle, something like that. I'm actually going to be taking some of these beets, and after they're roasted, I am going to be pickling them. I'm just going to do a refrigerator pickling, but hopefully you'll join me for that, and we can not only have the roasted beets, which are great as a side dish or a snack or whatever, but some pickled beets, refrigerator pickled, that don't require any canning or anything, that you can enjoy for, you know, about 6 weeks or something out of your fridge. All right, have a great day. Hopefully you enjoyed doing some roasted beets, and let me know how they came out.